Thank you very much, Keith. Of course, I'm very honored to be here today at this very important meeting. And especially as we're having a snow chaos right now in Stockholm, it's even more pleasurable being here in Nagoya right now. So my name is Mårten Wallberg. I'm the president of the Swedish Society for Nature Conservation, the Stockholm branch. The society is the largest environmental NGO in Sweden. We celebrated 100 years last year. So I'm going to brief you a short briefing about our collaboration in Stockholm, which nowadays we call URBIS Stockholm. So, in Stockholm we have 10 green wedges. These are large regional nature areas stretching from the city out to the suburbs, out into up to 9 municipalities at the same time. It's about 3 Swedish miles, 30 kilometers. And the place for us to work right now is the Rösjö wedge, which you see in the little blue box there. I won't go into detail about all the ecosystem services that is provided by this green wedge, but we have some which are very important. There are biodiversity services like refuge for species from other urban areas, and there's also climate change adaptation, cooling effects, erosion control, and flood mitigation. We also have, I think, 3 farmers in the wedge, which is urban agriculture, and also the services of human well-being, outdoor exercise, stress recovery, education, and cultural history. So this wedge provides us with a lot of very important ecosystem services, which is, of course, very, very important to save and develop in the right way. So, we're having a challenge in Stockholm in those wedges. We have, in Swedish law, we have this, the municipality have the land use planning monopoly. That is, each municipality do whatever it wants within their border. So in this wedge we have 6 municipalities, and this gives us we have a danger in having fragmentation in the wedge, because the municipalities do whatever they want, and they don't have to listen to their neighbors. So one way of preventing this fragmentation is getting those municipalities to sit in the same room, talk to each other, and have some sort of agreement on how are we going to do the planning in this wedge. Even just getting those 6 municipalities in the same room, together with the politicians, is a great achievement, I can tell you. So what we're doing right now, and have done for the last 4 years, is trying to build new institutions and building new policies, developing the new policies in the wedge. For the last 4 years, we have been having approximately 20 meetings. It's been in great groups, main groups, in small groups, project groups, meetings with the politicians, etc. And the initiator and driving force is the Swedish Society for Nature Conservation and the other NGOs. However, this fall, the municipalities have been very, very much more interested in this work, so the politicians are now they want to be one of the driving forces too, together with the NGOs, which I think is very, very good. After the 4 years, we've seen that there's 3 things that is really important for doing this process. You have to be patient. You can't do this in a half a year or 1 year. And you have to build it in trust. And for that, you have to have a certain amount of meetings. So in the end, you can see that, okay, we trust each other. We don't have to watch out for hidden agendas or so forth. And of course, you have to gain approval from the local politicians. politicians all the time. You have to get feedback from the politicians. They have to say, okay, just go on. This is very good. So during the process, it's been 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And that's also, you have to be patient about this. And since 2009, we are the pioneer node, one of the pioneer nodes for the URBIS partnership, which is very, very good. And I believe, my impression is that the politicians in those municipalities is very impressed by the URBIS and being a part of the United Nations partnership. So we have a certain amount of, we have objectives, of course, it includes resilience and climate change adaptation, but also good living environment for the citizens within these municipalities and the citizens living in adjacent municipalities. We have the organization, like the politicians have to sanction everything that we do. And we have main groups meetings, we have project groups meetings. And we communicate this with outing guides and nature guides. And this is what we call the shared actions, which is very, very important in terms of getting this process, these collaborations develop. Because otherwise, if you don't have these shared actions, you just sit around the table and just talk. So 3 years ago, we decided to have this, we're going to make this outing guides, one in paper and one interactive internet like this and in paper. And 1.5 years ago, we took the politicians from the 6 municipalities on a guided tour, on a bus tour from the south of the wedge up to the north, with a stop in each municipality, so the politicians could step off the bus, tell us about the fantastic nature in their municipality. The NGO could say something, and officials from the municipalities could talk. And then we made the next stop in the next municipality. And I'll tell you, the politicians, for the first time, they told me, they were going through the whole nature area, through the whole wedge, and they thought it was remarkable. So that was a great success. And right now we're working on a draft for the platform for 2010-2020, which includes vision, objectives with sub-objectives, organization, and forms of working. We also need, of course, funding. And now we're also trying to work it out with measurable objectives and indicators, which has been a draft or examples of indicators has been done by Mårten Wallberg and what do you call that? Master project. You can see the poster there. Yes, and this platform will be sanctioned by the politicians this fall. And there's 2 more green wedges have joined the collaboration. So now it's 8 municipalities working together, which is very, very great. And of course, we're starting up research programs together with Stockholm Resilience Center, which is, of course, very, very important. So that was a short brief of our collaboration in Stockholm. Thank you very much for your attention.